Jeez, we got 5 people up in here, 6 people up in here. We got chats already. Damn, you guys are savages. Can everybody hear me all right? Everybody got me okay? All right. Let's all right. All right. All right. How's everybody doing today? We got some chats up in here. Welcome. It's a very wonderful Tuesday. I believe it's June 13th. We got a lot of drama up in Buffalo to discuss. I don't know if you guys just saw Stefan Diggs' most latest Instagram post. Boy, dramatic. All right, I'm trying to see if I recognize some of the names up in here. Scotty Tuhati's been in a couple of drafts with us, but I don't think he's on the channel. We got Big L Mac, our boy Liam, drafting at the 105. What's up, Liam? Jonesy Juan Kenobi. What's up, buddy? He's at the 106. How you doing, boss? And then Snowman at the 107. And then Qua Z. I know I was calling the man queso dip, but this man ain't no joke. This guy won the drafters early. He won $20,000 American. The man's from Waterloo, Ontario. This guy's the real deal O'Neill. And last stream, I'm here calling him fucking queso dip. There's nothing cheesy about him. He's the real deal O'Neill. And I apologize. It's Qua Z. Say it right. The man earned his respect and deserves it. We got Knifey at the 110. We got your boy, Big Disco. We're at the 111. We'll make it happen. Let's catch up with the chat. All right. Anyone else queued up? Jonesy. Adrian says, yes, sir. Jonesy says, nice, always fun when we have a few in here doing the draft together. I freaking love you guys. You guys are amazing. Adrian, until y'all snipe me, you gotta look out for Big Elmac. Oh, Scotty Tuhati with the reach on Bijan? What? Adrian, then I have instant regret. Jonesy, LOL. Jonesy, here we go. Kobe and the Cal Dogs giving me the all clear. Thanks. Appreciate it. All 4 of us drafting. Yerp. No, don't sell the draft. And you know what? At the end of the day, Knifey, whatever you do, Adrian says, should I sell this draft to Seward Disco? Whatever you do, I'm going to pivot because I'm better. Boy, is Stefan Diggs dropping? He must be. He must be dropping. But he's angry, and I like it, so we're going to take him. We're going to take Stefan Diggs. So let's catch you guys up on the chat, or let's catch you guys up on the after I make this pick here. All right, we're going with Jalen Waddle. We do not have enough shares of Jalen Waddle. I know I wanted Garrett Wilson, but Jalen Waddle is somebody who I want to start getting way more exposure to. So Jalen Waddle it is. So we'll catch you guys up on the draft. At the 101, Justin Jefferson, then Jamar Chase, then Christian McCaffrey, then Bijan Robinson. Cooper Kupp goes to our good friend, Big Al Mac. Jonesy takes Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce goes to Snowman. Austin Eckler. Then A.J. Brown goes to the 2-time. He didn't win just one. He won 2. He won first and second place. Qua Z. First and nothing cheesy about the man. Put some respect on his name. I'm talking to myself. He goes with A.J. Brown. Saquon Barkley goes to Knifey Spoony, a.k.a. the Giants fan. We take Diggs because we dig it. That was corny. I'm sorry. I'll stop. Then at the 112, CeeDee Lamb goes. Then around the bend, Devontae Adams. We take Jalen Waddle. Knifey gets Garrett Wilson. Qua Z, the 2-time, gets him on St. Brown. Then Nick Chubb. Then Chris Olave goes to our boy Snowman. Then Jonesy takes Jonathan Taylor. Big Al Mac takes Devontae Smith. He loves himself some Devontae Smith. Ramondre Stevenson goes to Scotty Tuhati, Calvin Ridley, then T. Higgins, and let's catch up on the chat. Jonesy Juan Kenobi. I just did one with Scotty in it 30 minutes ago. Yeah, this guy's like, he's always in these these drafts. I like it. I just wish he was part of our disco ball movement. Adrian says, put some respect on Quasi's name. Dude's mean. Exactly. Nothing cheesy about him. Sean Wilson, let's go 8. You're Willie 86. Welcome, Sean. I'm very happy to get you in here, buddy. Finally, it's awesome. Let's go, buddy. Adrian says, wait for the draft to tilt on Diggs. Oh, did you guys see what he just recently posted on his Instagram? I got to pull it up. I got to read it verbatim. Verbatim. I just tweeted it too. If you guys didn't know, we're Big Drafters HQ on the Twitter. Oh, Sean, I just saw your tweet there. Hold on. Let me just. He said, I just be letting people. This is Stefon Diggs about all the drama that's happened today, and we'll catch you up on the drama. He says, I just be letting people cap. And if you don't know what cap means, it means telling fibs, stories that are untrue. If them lies, those lies that you've been telling about me, the untrue stories, help you sleep better, tell them big dog. Now, who may he be addressing as big dog in this scenario and situation? Boy, a lot of drama. I love it, especially since it's happening in Buffalo. All right, let's catch up on the draft. Oops. So after Calvin Ridley goes, he's going earlier and earlier. T. Higgins goes, then Jalen Hurts, then Mark Andrews starts off the 3rd round. DK Metcalf, D-Hop, Josh Allen, Scotty Tuhati Snipe Me. Patrick Mahomes goes to our boy Big L Mac. Breece Hall goes to Jonesy Wan Kenobi. So he's going relatively RB heavy. Snowman gets Tony Pollard. Sean gets Derrick Henry. Quasi, the two-time. Gets Joshua Gibbs. Knifey takes Jahmyr Gibbs. Knifey takes Josh Jacobs. And we're on the board. And I got a lot of Debo. But, I mean, it's June, so I'll keep drafting Debo. I don't care. I'll take it. So, why do you guys think that there's drama in Buffalo? Why is because I have a theory, but why do you guys think Diggs is upset? I have a theory. I just want to know what you're thinking. I want to hear your thoughts. All right. Do I want Travis Etienne to be my hero RB? Absolutely not. Do I want to pass up on a quarterback who I believe is going to win the fantasy season? No. So we're going to go with Justin Fields. And I know you guys know that I really want to stack DJ Moore, but whatever. I know I'm going to get sniped if it's not by, the first 5 guys. I guarantee it's going to be knifey, but whatever. We're here. We're here for it. So my theory is they just renegotiated Stefon Diggs' contract, right? So they moved. So with guaranteed money, you can renegotiate what year the guaranteed money goes in. This would be the year that $24 million is added to Stefon Diggs' current $24 million salary for this season, his base salary. So he's actually getting $48 million, give or take. My theory is they asked him once again to reconstruct his bank, reconstruct his guaranteed money so they can go out and get another player so it doesn't affect their base salary right now. In my humble opinion, that's the drama. That's what's unfolding. They asked him to reconstruct, and he said, I already did. I'm done reconstructing. I need to get my guaranteed money. I respect it. But I don't understand it. If you want to win a Super Bowl, the money is guaranteed regardless. But if you want to win a Super Bowl, move some funds around. And then they're going to have to sign Josh Allen to a long-term deal. And we know he's going to break the bank. God, we know that Joe Burrow's coming up on a contract extension. He's going to break the bank. So we'll catch up on the draft and then we'll catch up on the chat. So after we take Debo in the 3rd round, Najee Harris goes off the board, then Keenan Allen around the bend starting the 4th round. We take Justin Fields, very, very big reach, but we're very high on Fields this year. Then Knifey grabs Amari Cooper. Quasi gets a steal in the 4th round, grabbing Lamar Jackson. No wonder this guy's the 2-time. TJ Hawkinson goes to our good friend Sean. Snowman grabs Jerry Jeudy. Jonesy Kenobi grabs McLaurin. I have zero exposure to McLaurin or Jeudy. Big Elmac grabs Christian Kirk. So he's also going on the 0 RB strat right now. Christian Watson goes to Scotty Tuhati, then Joe Mixon, then Joe Burrow, then our guy DJ Moore gets taken at the 101. It is what it is. Or at the end of the 4th round. So 48th overall. Then he picks up Drake London around the bend. Low key, this Croquet Moderna. This Croquet Moderna, he's got a very solid start. Let's catch up with the chat. Snowman 089 says, I could see that, especially if they're trying to get him to restructure for Hopkins. And I think the reason why he I love that we're thinking alike right here, Snowman. I also think that one of the bigger reasons that he left Minnesota wasn't financial. It was the fact that he wasn't the guy. He likes being the guy. If you look at the Buffalo Bills offense, other than an elite quarterback, they don't really have a guy on that offense, right? Other than an elite quarterback. The guy there is Stephon Diggs. If D-Hop comes, that might take away from that, which is very egotistical. But once again, this is all theoretical. I'm sure Diggs is a phenomenal, member of the locker room. I'm sure he's a great leader. I'm sure all that's, but there's a chance that there might be slight greed and ego involved. I'm very curious to see how this plays out. I'm sure everything will be totally fine. In other news, DeAndre Hopkins left Tennessee without a contract, and though Bill Belichick is not planning any sort of trips, he's not a travel plan advisor. We do know that D-Hop's going to visit the Patriots next, which is pretty freaking dope as a Pats fan. That would be a great addition, but once again, it's going to come down to, does he believe in Mac Jones? And if I was D-Hop, I would personally say no. I don't believe in Mac Jones. So let's catch up on the draft. So after Croquet Moderna grabs DJ Moore, he gets Drake London, sorry. Then Mike Williams goes, then J.K. Dobbins, great pick. Then Aaron Jones, then we're on the board. All right, we'll take Kenneth Walker. We need a running back. So after Big Elmac takes Travis Etienne, Jonesy grabs Deontay Johnson, then Snowman grabs Chris Godwin, then Sean grabs Michael Pittman, then Quasi grabs Marquise Brown. Wow. I mean, I don't want to argue with the 2-time, but that's a stupid pick. That's a queso dip kind of pick right there. I'm kidding. We could go for another RB here. Let's go with a high ceiling, high upside, top 5 tight end. Let's go with George Kittle. So after that, Knifey grabs Justin Herbert. We take Kenneth Walker. Cam Akers is the last pick of the 5th round. Then Trevor Lawrence starts off the 6th round. We go with George Kittle. Our good friend Knifey Spooney passes on Dallas Goedert and takes Kyle Pitts. And then Quasi grabs Brandon Ayuk. It's a very interesting build. I'm trying to read the room and see what people are going to do. And I will say Quasi is quite unorthodox, but it makes sense. And then low-key, our boy Sean right here, he's going super RB heavy, so he's going to have to catch up at wide receiver. We know he desperately needs wide receiver. And then what's going on with Saquon? What's happening with Saquon? Do we think Saquon's going to play this year? Do we think he's going to play? It's bad for football that the running back position has been diminished and been absolutely like pulverized to the point where like guys don't even want to play it anymore. And that's the most exciting position in football. Like some of the best plays in football, best highlights come from a running back. I think it's very sad that Saquon may sit, Josh Jacobs may sit. Like, whew, that would be bad. That would be a horrible year, not just as a fantasy football guy, but just as a football fan in general, that the sport has gotten to this point. And I'm not gonna like knock him for not playing for the love of the game. At the end of the rule, you got to protect your pockets and take care of your bank. So get your money, boo boo. All right, so Snowman goes with Treylon Burks for the 66th overall pick. Damian Pierce goes to Jonesy. Then Big Al Mac goes with Dallas Goedert. And then Jackson Smith and Jigba goes to Scotty Tuhati. Then Mike Evans. Then Alexander Madison. Then Miles Sanders. It's good to see that the Madison like craze has like dwindled a bit. Then to start round 7, Jahan Dotson, another very good pick. Then Jordan Addison. And we're all caught up. Let's catch up with the chat. Quasi says, I have low ownership, need some shares. Fair enough. It makes sense. But it doesn't. First rule of Saquon. What's the first rule of Saquon? Quasi says, I also think Ayuk is better value at his ADP than where Samuel is, but that's just me. I mean, if you're going based off of what happened last year, I agree, but I think a fully committed Saquon, fully committed Debo, who's in for all the OTAs, in for all the mandatory mini camps, in for everything, not holding out. I think that's a significant difference. I think he's going to get some timing with whoever the quarterback is going to be, which is still up in the air. So my money's on Debo having a stellar season. Jonesy Juan Kenobi says Saquon sits, Jacob sits, Diggs is next. Is the next Antonio Brown. LOL, funnier. Oh, I don't know about Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown was an asshole. Pardon my language. Knifey says we don't talk about Saquon. We're talking Saquon, buddy. We're talking Saquon. And then Adrian says, also Jonesy wants to watch the world burn, eh? I'm here for it. You guys are funny. All right, let's go with another wide receiver. Let's get Kadarius Toney. I'm starting to want more exposure there. And then we'll catch up on the draft. So after Jordan Addison goes, Deshaun Watson goes. Then Gabe Davis. Then Liam gets DeAndre Swift. Then Jonesy Juan Kenobi grabs Brandon Cooks. Then Snowman gets Quentin Johnston. Sean gets Anthony Richardson. Quasi gets Rashad Bateman. Knifey gets George Pickens. We're on the clock, so we'll make our pick. Okay. Yeah, why not? I'm going to keep taking Dalvin right now, even though I have way too much exposure to him, because I know the moment he's signed somewhere, he's going to jump up to round 4, round 5, maybe even late round 3. So I'll keep getting my exposure now since it's June and I can afford to get him in June. So after George Pickens, we take Kadarius Toney. Then James Conner goes off the board. Then Evan Ingram starts off the 8th round. Then we take Dalvin Cook. Then Rashad White goes to our friend Knifey. Then Darren Waller, and we're all caught up. Let's catch up with the chat. Jonesy is laughing at the fact that he wants to see the world burn. Liam says, let's see if I draft a team with all week 9-10 buys. I mean, it's very possible this year. Snowman says, think Saquon and Jacobs end up playing. What Bell did isn't the norm. I mean, what's Bell doing now? Is he like a rapper? And he even was quoted saying like he regretted the year he sat out. But in hindsight, he also signed a bag and didn't really have to do much for the Jets. I invested in him a lot that fantasy season, so I'm not a big Lev Bell guy anymore. Adrian says, I could see Saquon sitting week 1. Hate the idea, but it makes sense if the Giants can't run. They will have to cave. My opinion is if Saquon holds out on mandatory OTAs, mandatory minicamp, mandatory training camp, if he holds out. So July 17th is the day he has to sign the franchise tag tender, right? So July 17th is when we'll know if Saquon's in it or if Saquon's not in it. Until then, I'm fading. I'm not doing, unless Saquon's under contract. If he misses mandatory training camp, if he misses all that good stuff, I'm fading. I can't invest. I don't want to invest. I'm out. I'm out on Saquon, and I hate saying that because he's my favorite player to watch in the NFL. So after Quasi grabs Waller in the 8th round, that's a spectacular pick. Sorry. Sean grabs Cortland Sutton. Then Snowman gets David Montgomery. Jonesy grabs Tua. Great pick. And he has Tyreek Hill. So very nice stack. Big L Mac grabs Elijah Moore. Sky Tuhati grabs Isaiah Pacheco. Then David Njoku. Then James Cook, Michael Thomas, Zach Charbonnet, Pat Freiermuth. I am taking way too long to talk about what we're doing, so I will just get right into it. If you're not aware of what we're doing, where we're drafting, this is for real money. This is like real stakes involved. We're drafting on Drafters Fantasy Sports. This is the Drafters $3 mini. Essentially, it's a $3 buy-in, and first place out of 75,000 competitors, first place gets $30,000 American. And we actually have the winner of one of these tournaments drafting with us and in our chat at the very moment, which is spectacular. The dude's the real deal O'Neal. And we were chirping him. And then there's another tournament. It's the Drafters $2 million. It's a $20 buy-in. First place gets $300,000. There's over $2 million in total winnings. Oh, and for the Drafters Mini, there's over $200,000 in total winnings. So, like 50th place, 60th place, you all get a serious amount of money. So if you sign up today using code DiscoDrafts1, you get up to $100 max with your initial deposit. I will show you guys the slides in a sec. I just knew that we're coming up on the clock. All right. We're a little light at the running back position, so we're gonna start getting some good running back value here. Let's grab Brian Robinson. I know we're drafting him past ADP, but based on our big drafters guide for the year 2023 best ball format, he is best available at the running back position. And the fact that we're getting him in the 9th round, I'll continue to do so until ADP adjusts and people smarten up and realize that he's an RB1 there and they want to run the rock and they want to run the rock consistently. So yeah. So after we take Brian Robinson, Alan Lazard goes and we're starting the 10th round. But before that, we'll catch you up. So, I lied. We will go with Juju Smith-Schuster here. We do not have enough exposure, and based on our big drafters draft guide, he's best available. So let's just show you guys exactly what we're doing here. So this is we're doing currently the drafters $3 mini. First place gets $30,000. There's over $200,000 in total winnings. The other tournament, the one that we're gonna wait until this one's completely filled, the $3 mini is completely filled, is the Drafters $2 million. We've already done a couple lineups in there. First place gets $300,000. There's over $2 million in total earnings. So, like, once again, 50th place gets a bunch of money. We're doing it in best ball format. It's the most convenient way to draft. You have 20 rounds to fill your roster for depth. Each week, a starting lineup is composed of the following positions: 1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end. At the end of each week, the best overall performances on your roster will be submitted in your weekly matchup. So no more leaving points on the bench, no more waiver wires, no more trades. How'd I do? Crushed it. Yeah. All right, let's catch up on the draft. So, yeah, let's go round 9. So Zach Charbonnet, Pat Freiermuth. I'm shocked that Gibson went ahead of Brian Robinson. That's wild. Gibson, Dalton Kincaid, AJ Dillon goes to our friend Big L Mac. That's a homer move, but a good homer move. Then Jonesy grabs Dak. Snowman grabs Damian Harris. Zay Flowers goes to Sean. Quasi grabs Samaje Perine, Knifey goes with Javonte Williams, who has tremendous upside, especially in round 9, but should sit out anywhere between 4 to 8 weeks. We take Brian Robinson, then Alan Lazard goes off the board. Starting the 10th round, Alvin Kamara gets picked up. We take Juju Smith-Schuster, then Jameson Williams goes to Knifey, then Rashad Penny goes to Quasi, Queso, dip. Then Sean grabs Tyler Boyd, then Snowman gets Russell Wilson, then Jonesy gets Jacoby Myers, Liam gets Odell, then Geno, then Daniel Jones, then Kirk Cousins, then Devon Achane, then Rondell Moore, then Elijah Mitchell, and we're all caught up. Do you guys see a world where DeAndre Hopkins signs to New England? I'm asking for a friend who's a big Pats fan. Do you guys see a world where Hopkins ends up in New England? I want to live in that world. The idea of it gets me excited. It gets me freaking amped. But then again, we still have Mac Jones at quarterback. And he's in a prove it kind of situation up in New England. Like, boy, they don't. Yeah. Adrian says, do you see a world where the Patriots overpay anyone? Absolutely. Look at Matthew Judon. Look at Jonnu Smith. Look at Hunter Henry. Look at Kendrick Bourne. We overpaid those guys significantly. Recent history is telling you so. Quasi says yes. If Quasi says it, the 2 times says it, I believe it. Adrian says, because I'm reading a ton about him inflating his own value. I don't think he's inflating his own value. I just think that, like, historically speaking, in a situation where a wide receiver whose career's kind of been hit at like a lull point, a good fit for him historically is the New England Patriots. Call me a homer all you want, but I'm not drafting New England Patriots for the sake of drafting New England Patriots. I'm just thinking, like, it would make sense for him to spark his career up again. And he has history with Bill O'Brien, who's the offensive coordinator. He was the head coach in Houston. And if anybody knows how to use D-Hop and get the most out of D-Hop, it's Bill O'Brien as an offensive coordinator. It makes sense. Quasi says anywhere but KC is what. Who's your team, Quasi? I'm very curious to know who's your team. Because if he does go to KC, that's a problem for the league. I won't lie. We're back on the clock. All right, we'll go with best available running back. I don't love the value, but we'll take Jamal Williams. We have 0 double stack correlation thus far. Zach Charbonnet would have been a good pick for us, but we also got Brian Robinson and RB1 in the 9th round. So I'm okay with that. So far, our draft is going well. I'm going to, instead of taking all the time to go over your drafts at the end, I'm going to start like looking at your drafts to the folks here who are drafting with us and also in our chat. I'm going to look at your draft like during the draft, if that makes sense. I made that way longer winded than it should have been. Snowman says, think Buffalo would be the best spot, but New England makes a lot of sense and would be great for Mac Jones. I think it would be great for everybody. Buffalo does make the most sense. I've been saying Buffalo makes the most sense, but the only issue is Buffalo is currently dealing with cents on their salary cap and not dollars. See what I did there? Dad joke. Yeah. No, they have zero salary cap to really work with right now, because they have a lot of significant contracts, not only to deal with now, especially paying Stephon Diggs $24 million in base salary, but also $24 million signing bonus that was restructured into this year. So that is going to affect their salary cap significantly, which is my theory as to why there's drama up in Buffalo. So it would make sense. It would be a phenomenal pick, but or a phenomenal acquisition, but I don't see it happening. Not there. Adrian Fidesz says, why aren't we talking Titans? I'll tell you why, Adrian. I'll tell you why. The reason why we're not talking Titans right now is because Ryan Tannehill and Will Levis are the quarterbacks there. Yes, they have spectacular country music and a great, live. It's a very lively town and city, and I don't think country music's enough to get DeAndre Hopkins to sign there. I don't think D-Hop signs for his love of country music. I think it's safe to say. And the fact that Ryan Tannehill is so far the QB1 is horrible because the Titans only pass the ball like 25 times a game. So if you're talking volume, it's a scenario and a situation that doesn't make sense. If you look at the two teams he's visiting first on his list, they're teams where he's had coaches he's liked. So Mike Vrabel was defensive coordinator in Houston when D-Hop was happy in Houston, and Bill O'Brien was the head coach, who's now the offensive coordinator for the Patriots. He was the head coach up in Houston, so he's definitely going to people who he wants to work with and who know him and who know how to utilize him. Yeah. Quasi says, I don't have a favorite team when drafting. Got a stat objective. I'm assuming you wanted to say got to stay objective. I mean, at the end of the day, fantasy is fantasy, and your favorite team is your favorite team, right? If you saw our 10 draft commandments, our first rules, if you're doing a fantasy football draft, whatever format you're doing, don't be a homer. So I'd like to know who your favorite team is, simply because outside of fantasy football, there's a team you gotta want to win a Super Bowl. Adrian says Quasi must have played hockey in a former life. That's the most politically correct answer ever. No, he must have played for Bill Belichick in another life because he's also winning. Oh, good neck crack. Quasi, but I do have high Tony ownership, and a Hop signing would hurt that. I have high Diggs ownership, especially this draft, not helping that situation. So I think that would also not really help Diggs at all. If he goes anywhere and becomes a number one, the situation that would make the most sense where he would be utilized heavily and also not damage anybody else's ADP and anybody else's value and only increase his own personal value would be New England. Because if he goes to Baltimore, which is another team that's favored to get him, that would decrease all of their value currently, and none of them are true. We'll go Donovan Peoples-Jones. None of the receivers in Baltimore right now are true wide receiver one. Yes, I know Odell Beckham Jr. historically is a great wide receiver, but currently they have 3 star receivers on the squad. And once again, if he goes to Philly, another team interested in signing him, then that also affects the current receivers up in Philly. We'll go with Tyler Algier here. I do not have enough exposure to Tyler Algier, so I will get Tyler Algier, especially in round 14. Why not? All right, let's catch up on the draft. So to start off round 13, Tank Bigsby goes off the board, somebody who I have 0 exposure to, but I want to. I just never get him. Then Van Jefferson, then Cole Kmet, Van Jefferson, Matt Stafford. Then our friend Big Al Mac grabs Kenny Pickett. Then Jonesy grabs Roshan Johnson. Snowman grabs Tyquan Thornton. Sean grabs Adam Thielen. Quasi grabs Jaden Reed. Great pick. Very high on that pick. Knifey grabs Alec Pierce. We grab Donovan Peoples-Jones. I hate that pick, but whatever. It is what it is. It's kind of like a dead space right now in terms of the draft. There's not too much great value, and Kyler's just hanging out there. Then Jonathan Mingo to start round 14. DJ Chark. We grab Tyler Algier. Knifey grabs Kyler Murray. You could have waited 2 more rounds. Quasi grabs Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Sean grabs Chuba Hubbard. Snowman gets my favorite handcuff in football this year. I always talk about how good Snowman does. I wouldn't be shocked if Snowman's like one of the big time winners this year. he has really, really good drafts. But then again, I know for a fact we're winning, the 30K, so you guys can have anything else. I still can't believe that Quasi placed first and second in one of these tournaments. First and second. So if that was this year, he would not only get the $30,000 grand prize, he would also get the $15,000 grand prize. And to put it in perspective, it's not just the 12 people he's currently drafting with. It's the fact that there's 75,000 entrants, and it's the best overall performance. And Quasi got first and second. Wow. He followed me on Twitter. I didn't look at his I followed him back, but I really didn't pay attention to and then I saw under his description that he's a 2-time. This guy's the truth. Quasi, whenever you're free, brother, I would love, my friend, to have you on a stream, even if we're just talking about strategy, talking about how that money changed your life, talking about the app. Just even if you don't want to draft with us, it would just be nice to have a chat with you and just pick your brain, because it's super cool that you're part of our community. And geez, man, kudos to you. I'm going to give you your flowers, but this year's my year. I'm going to give you your flowers, but this year's my year. New kid on block. Quasi says they also were back-to-back drafts with only 4 common players. That's crazy. Who are the 4 common players? So after Ford goes, Jerome Ford, that is, to Snowman, Gerald Everett gets picked up by our friend Jonesy Wan Kenobi at pick 163. Big Al Mac grabs Raheem Mostert. Then Donta Foreman, then Marvin Mims, somebody who I want to start getting more exposure to. Then Kenneth Gainwell, then Zeke. Zeke in round 14. When he signs somewhere, he's going to go up in ADP. Ty Chandler. So he is banking on the fact that it is going to be Ty Chandler who is the handcuff in Minnesota now that Dalvin Cook's gone. So my money's not on Ty Chandler, not anymore. So round 15 starts with Ty Chandler, then Shaheed, then John Mechie, then Sam Laporta. Are you a Laporta supporter? Spam Laporta supporter in the chat. Then Irv Smith goes to our good friend Big L Mac. Then Jonesy Wan Kenobi. Then grabs Dawson Knock. Big L Mac grabs Irv Smith. Snowman gets Leonard Fournette. Sean grabs Isaiah Hodgins. Quasi grabs Curtis Samuel. Great pick. Our good friend Knifey is on the clock. And so are we. We changed. See what we did here? All right. So we got 1 quarterback. We do need a second. So we will go with CJ Stroud up in here. I like that pick. And then after we take CJ Stroud, Jawan Johnson gets taken off the board, then Bryce Young, and we're back on the clock. And based on value, I see some names I like. I'm going to reach really far and grab Chase Claypool because I do not believe in Hunter Renfrow. And it's going to bite me in the butt because I know he's a PPR magnet. But I do not believe in Hunter Renfrow whatsoever. And I think Chase Claypool is my only correlation with Justin Fields. So I'm going to start looking at some of your drafts. And I'm going to start not necessarily grading you, but I'm just going to say if I like your team or not. So we'll start with Big Al Mac. He went with Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith, Patrick Mahomes, Christian Kirk, Travis Etienne. I'll just do it like this. Travis Etienne, DeAndre Swift, AJ Dillon, Jack McKinnon, Raheem Mostert, Cooper Kupp, Devontae Smith, Christian Kirk, Elijah Moore, Odell, KJ Osborne. Very solid draft. Very solid draft. I do like your running backs too, except for Jack McKinnon. Let's look at our good friend Jonesy Wan Kenobi so far. He's got Tua and Dak at the quarterback position, so he went quarterback late. It's a very safe bet. The fact that Tua is being drafted as 91st overall is crazy. At the running back position, he's got Jonathan Taylor, Breece Hall, Dameon Pierce, Roshan Johnson, Tajay Spears. Elite, very elite running back core. Wide receiver, he's got Tyreek Hill, Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, Brandon Cooks, Jacoby Myers, Romeo Dobbs. Very nice. Tight end, Dalton Schultz, Gerald Everett, Dawson Knox. Not bad. Not bad. I like your team. I like your team. Very solid. Snowman's got Russell Wilson and Mac Jones at the quarterback position. Then he's got Tony Pollard, David Montgomery, Damian Harris, Kendre Miller, Jerome Ford, Leonard Fournette as his running backs. Chris Olave, Jerry Jeudy, Chris Godwin, Treylon Burks, Quentin Johnson, Rashee Rice, Tyquan Thornton. He needs to address his tight end position, so now we know we get to snipe him. Let's look at our friend Sean. Sean, you still in here, bud? Hold on, let's catch up on the chat. So the 4 common players in back-to-back drafts where you won first and second was Tyreek Hill, KJ Osborne, Hunter Henry, and Jamal Williams. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. That's absolutely wild. That's absolutely wild. You know what my problem is, and like why you won first and second, is I had no idea drafters existed in Ontario last year. Honestly, I was trying to get like a VPN so I can get on Underdog. We need drafters to start like promoting the hell out of this, because the fact that it's available in Ontario, and you know, I know I'm here promoting it, but like we really need to like start pushing it, because this is a game changer. This is so fun. So fun. All right, let's look at Sean's lineup. He's got Anthony Richardson, Aaron Rodgers at the quarterback position. Solid. Running back position, Austin Eckler, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Chuba Hubbard. Hubba Bubba. Wide receiver, he's got Michael Pittman, Tyler Lockett, Cortland Sutton, Zay Flowers, Tyler Boyd, Darnell Mooney, Adam Thielen, and Isaiah Hodgins. At the tight end position, he's got TJ Hawkinson, Mike Gesicki. I like it. I like it. It's a very safe draft. You have a very high floor. All right, let's look at the 2-time defending champ, Quasi, a.k.a. Queso Dip, but there's nothing cheesy about the man. Put some respect on his name. Hey, buddy. Our friend here. What's up? How you doing, buddy? Mir. How you doing, Mir? All right, so the 2-time Quasi, the guy who won $20,000 placing first and second in these drafts last year, goes Lamar Jackson, Jared Goff, Jahmyr Gibbs, Samaje Perine, Rashad Penny, Jalen Warren, Chase Brown, and then wide receiver A.J. Brown, Amon-Ra St. Brown. He likes the name Brown. We'll catch up and finish that in a sec. We're just on the clock. All right, we're going to go with Joshua Palmer. Is it happening to me again? I'm not on auto pick. Who do we take there? Trey Lance. Okay, I'm okay with the pick. Honestly, I'm okay with the pick. I just hate that that's happened to me twice now whenever I switch that other view. So we'll go with Joshua Palmer. Guy we wanted the first time, but we'll whatever. We'll pivot. Catching up on the chat. Quasi, the 2-time, says, I got all Browns. Is that the formula for being the 2-time again this year? Draft every player with the name Brown or people from the Cleveland Browns? If that's the formula, I want nothing to do with it. Adrian says, click the name and then click draft when that happens. Okay, next time. Tomorrow. It'll probably happen again tomorrow, but it's okay. I'm not opposed to drafting Trey Lance there. I am good at quarterback, though. No more quarterbacks. So let's go back to Quasi's team. We didn't finish off there. So A.J. Brown, Amon St. Brown, Marquise Brown. He wasn't kidding. Brandon Ayuk, Rashad Bateman, Jaden Reed, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Curtis Samuel, Darius Slayton, Darren Waller, Jake Ferguson. Are you higher, Quasi? I'd like to know. Are you higher on Jake Ferguson than you are on Luke Schoonmaker? Because if you're higher on Ferguson than Luke Schoonmaker, let me put you onto a potential fantasy winner, especially in these late rounds. Jake Ferguson's been in the league for what, 4 years? He's done nothing significant. He's been insignificant. He's not significant. Do not draft him. Luke Schoonmaker's the real deal, O'Neal. He's Gronk, baby Gronk. He's a great run blocker. So he's good. Hold on. Quasi says, I generally don't like rookie tight ends. All right. Hey, man, you're the two-time. Until this year's over. Mirror 10, what's up, buddy? Says these guys are pretty good. Yeah, we're drafting with some of the best sharks in here. I can't wait to get your dad in one of these drafts. Due to the amount of time, Quasi says, due to the amount of time it takes to learn the position at the NFL level. But if you are in a collegiate scheme that is tailor-made for the NFL, for the transition over to the NFL, then you are more likely to succeed. And then you look at the situation where he got drafted in, where historically the tight end position has been used and abused. Luke Schoonmaker makes sense. I'm just saying, draft him, don't draft him, do your research, put on the highlight tape, look at the combine numbers, look at his football IQ. I'm just saying. Adrian Fidesz says, I'm with Quasi. They are statistically super irrelevant. Well, I'm with Disco, and that's why I'm going to win the money and you're not. I mean, I love you guys to pieces. Quasi says, we haven't had a fantasy relevant rookie tight end since Gronk. I beg to differ. What about Kyle Pitts? Jonesy One Kenobi says, rookie tight end are usually fantasy relevant. Very few make a splash. Oh, man, that's like you're painting the whole position / rookie concept with the same brush. You're not looking at like the bigger picture. You're not drafting at the end of these drafts, like in round 19, 18, 19 for consistency and somebody who's going to break fantasy football. You're drafting for spike weeks and somebody who's going to pop on when your starter is sitting. And a rookie tight end historically has 3 or 4 spike weeks. If you don't believe me, we can pull up the numbers and we can go over it. But anyways, if you want to fade all the rookie tight ends, I'll gladly take them. And I don't want you guys to continuously agree with me. The fact that we have this back and forth where there is a disagreement makes me very happy. All right, so we don't want James Robinson because he got cut. So we're going to get Pierre Strong. For the love of God. Okay, you're right, Knifey. It did work. So we went with Pierre Strong there. I really like the pick. I like the selection. We now have a clear idea on who the true handcuff is in New England, and that's Pierre Strong. So strategically speaking, we did very solid there. And now our last overall pick, we're going to go with Justin Ross. And our draft is done. So we're going to go over Knifey's team, then we're going to look at our team. So Knifey went Justin Herbert, Jordan Love, and Kyler Murray at the quarterback position. At the running back position, he got his boy from the New York Football Giants. I'm walking over here. He went with Saquon, Josh Jacobs, Rachaad White, Javonte Williams, Khalil Herbert, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Eric Gray. I mean, it's good that you got your handcuff in Eric Gray, but imagine both Saquon Barkley and Josh Jacobs decide to just sit. Then Garrett Wilson at the wide receiver position, Amari Cooper, George Pickens, Jameson Williams, Alec Pierce, Jalen Hyatt, Joshua Downs at the wide receiver position. You need to start drafting more wide receivers than you do running backs. Tight ends, Kyle Pitts, Michael Mayer, Trey McBride. Think about it. I'll explain in a sec. I'm just going to answer here. No, I hope you win, Mir. Mir 10 says, I hope you win. I hope you win. Adrian Fitta says, other than Pitts, Ingram, Reed, no rookie tight ends finished above. You're not looking for points per game. You're looking for spike weeks. That's the difference. If you're looking for points per game, that's where you draft elite upside tight ends in the first 7 rounds. But other than that, you're looking for spike weeks. You tell me a better value than Luke Schoonmaker in these rounds, and I'll tell you you're lying. And then Adrian Fitta says, ever. Mir 10 says, is it PPR? Yes, it's PPR. Here, let me just pull this up for you, Mir. So it's best ball format. Okay, so there's Your starting lineup consists of 1 quarterback, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 1 tight end, 1 flex. Okay. It's points per reception. So that's why wide receivers go at a premium here. Wide receivers go early and often. It's PPR. So yeah, it's full PPR. Let's go over our team. At the quarterback position, we got Justin Fields, CJ Stroud, Trey Lance. Running back, we went RB relatively late. We went Kenneth Walker, Dalvin Cook, Brian Robinson, Jamal Williams, Tyler Algier, Pierre Strong. So we got like 3 really good handcuffs, but they're all off on week 11. Good to know. At wide receiver, we are doing really good. We got Stephon Diggs, Jalen Waddle, Deebo Samuel, Kadarius Toney, Juju Smith-Schuster, Donovan Peoples-Jones. I'm not in love with Donovan Peoples-Jones pick, but once again, we're going for a high upside, and the fact that, he's going to have his spike weeks, it's fine. Chase Claypool, I'm going to expect several spike weeks from him. Chase Claypool's going to come on, and he's going to come on big. Joshua Palmer, right now he's in wide receiver 4, but that is the most injury-ridden wide receiver room in all of football, maybe even all of football history. So he may be a wide receiver 4 now, but he's going to easily become a wide receiver 3 and 2 along the season, because we know that Keenan Allen, we know that Mike Williams, they're going to have their, long breaks. Pardon the pun. Then we go Justin Ross, simply for upside and story. We're buying the hype there. And at tight end, we got George Kittle and our favorite name to pronounce, Chigoziem Okonkwo. How you guys think we did? Once again, Fields, Stroud, Lance, Kenneth Walker, Dalvin Cook, Brian Robinson, Jamal Williams, Tyler Algier, Pierre Strong, Stephon Diggs, Jalen Waddle, Deebo Samuel, Kadarius Toney, Juju Smith-Schuster, Donovan Peoples-Jones, Chase Claypool, Joshua Palmer, Justin Ross, George Kittle, Chigoziem Okonkwo. I think we crushed that draft. Oh, we got 12 people up in here. I don't ever want to leave. Well, I missed you guys. I hope you all had a phenomenal weekend. But it's back to business. Sorry about yesterday. I had a terrible migraine, but we're back. We're going to be back tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Shoot me a message on Twitter. Shoot me a message on Instagram. If you want to get in one of these drafts with us, I will literally tell you when we're queuing up. And, we're Big Drafters HQ on our Twitter. We're Big Drafters Energy on Instagram. Big Drafters Energy on TikTok. Shoot us a message. And, we'll get you guys in here. Hold on. Adrian says, nicely done, amigo. Hope the smoke is gone. Thanks for a fun draft. It's been raining often here, so it's nothing like the Alberta forest fires. So thank God, that's over and taken care of. It was just weird to see, it was a bunch of greenery, and we've had years with a lot of drought, and the fact that this was the year that we had all that wild forest fire, not just here, but pretty much everywhere in Canada. Just weird. Just very weird. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I am. Miss Mir 10 says, I don't want you to leave, but we'll be back tomorrow at 8 p.m. You'll be here? Bring your dad. All right, guys. God bless. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Once again, if you guys want to get into one of these drafts, we'd love to have you. Just shoot me a message on Twitter or TikTok or Instagram. And have a wonderful night, guys. Peace.